All right, good morning. It is quite cold. This is the first time since we came to Queensland that it was actually a little chilly this morning. No matter, the coffee's brewing, the towels are pretty much dry from our awesome shower last night. And yeah, I guess today's the big climb to the Tablelands. We're unsure of the plan today. What else is new, eh? We're heading towards Atherton, but the route we have chosen is quite a meandering one with a lot of stuff to see on the way. Now, we could head straight to Atherton, and it would be like 1,500 meters of climbing and over 100k, which is fine. It's doable. It'd be like a tough day, but it's doable. The other option is to do it over 2 days and take our time seeing the sights. So I guess today is just going to be one of those days where we get up there. That's the first thing. We need to climb up the hill to the Tablelands. And once we're up there, we're just going to have a meander around all the sites. And I guess it just takes as long as it takes. We might be in Atherton this evening, or we may well just be camping wild somewhere.
Yep, we got everything. So we're just like cruising through this beautiful countryside, looking at all the hills and stuff, and then out of nowhere, this big ugly sugar refinery. Like, it's so out of place. Man, I like the smell though. We do enjoy the smell, but man, it's just, I don't know, I guess that's the industry here, right? Has been for a long time. Directly after the sugar refinery, we go through this town. I think it's called South Johnston. And it's like a ghost town. Like, everything just looks shut up and old and just abandoned. And she's really sad. Like, you'd imagine once upon a time that would have been a prosperous little town right here in the heart of the sugar industry. But everything's good now, because we just turned onto Henderson Drive. Seems that this climb comes in steps. We've just done the first kind of long stint. We've just sort of got to a flat bit for a bit of respite. I am glad that today is not hot. I was complaining that it was chilly this morning, but glad I'm not doing this in that full Queensland sun. So it appears that there is a tea farm here, right next to us. Just fields of tea. And it turns out they also have a little kiosk here where you can buy some tea, which Bonnie is excited about. New Sephora. Oh, that looks good.
Oh, what is it?
Fresh, pure local, 100 grams for $5.
So, I guess this is the new Sephora tea. Yeah, new Sephora tea plantation. And they make black tea. I'm not really a black tea fan. I like green tea personally. Gin matcha is my favorite. But you know what? I like to support local business, and I'll just give this a try. It might be really good.
You.
Got my money here.
So, a sign for a recent cassowary crossing. So, you can see them out this way. So sad that we didn't get to the opportunity to see one in Mission Beach, but it's not over yet. We are gonna, well, I mean, here's the thing, like, I saw that cassowary, but I've reviewed the GoPro footage and you can't see it on the GoPro. Now I need to get some actual good footage of a cassowary. That's the mission now, and it's gonna happen. Alright, we're just riding and we see the sign here for Crawford's Lookout, and it's pretty cool. There's like a little parking space here, and they've like cut this gap through the trees here so you can like see down to the I think it's the Johnston River, or the South Johnston River. Anyway, pretty nice. And we also spotted these guys' van, and they've got all these stickers from places we've been, like 1770, Frosty Mango, the hotel at Yamba, all this stuff, and places we want to go, like Winton, Waltzing Matilda Museum, all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. There's some travelers here that have seen some good stuff. So just here, there's this little ledge, and we think we're just gonna hop over the other side of that and make some lunch, which is gonna be pretty interesting today. We're kind of low on supplies. So unfortunately, all we have that we can really have for lunch, the only thing we have left, refried beans and tortillas. So we're just gonna have like a goopy sort of bean crepe situation going on. Bit of that, that'll probably do it, I guess. Bit of this, roll her up like a cigar. That's lunch. So we're actually quite lucky in that we have a couple of friends up in Atherton, Dave and Emma. So we gave them a shout, let them know we were going to come through town, and unfortunately they are away on holiday. But fortunately they're super nice, and they just said, oh, you guys can use our house while we're away. So they've left the key with the neighbour. I'm going to go pick up the key. They've told us where the spare room is, and yeah, we're just gonna stay at their place for a week until they get back from their holiday. So that's awesome, super kind of them, and like really bloody helpful, you know, when you're on the road, and we know you could do with a bit of space and somewhere to make a home base for a little bit and get on top of stuff. I'll probably edit a bunch of these videos. Yeah, awesome. Like, thanks guys. It seems there's all sorts of picnic areas and camping areas and creeks and hiking tracks all around this area. There's actually a fair bit of traffic. It's kind of unexpected, but man, what a beautiful area. Man, this hill is serious. Look at this. I'm leaking from both sides. And of course it's been overcast and cool, perfect hill riding conditions all day. As soon as we get to the hard bit, so we just looked up and noticed there's these little like walkways joining from one side of the road to the other, and they're like crossings for animals, so that like possums or koalas or whatever they have here can cross the road from the safety of this bridge without having to come onto the road. That's so cool. That's soothing. That is not. Falls Tea House. Ah, what a nice location as well, eh?
I doubt they're open.
Yeah, probably not. We'll have a look. Cool. Well, what a lovely little place that was. It was a real shame, like it's kind of late in the day, it looked like they were closing up, so they didn't have any like pies or any of that kind of stuff left. All they had was cakes, tea and coffee basically, but you know, we had some nice cake, and yeah, they let us fill up our water bottles too, which was good of them. After that, we took the windy road out of there. Probably could have just taken the main road, to be honest. I think we just created extra work for ourselves, but we're back on the main road now. And after much discussion, we've decided that we're going to skip out all the sightseeing today. I know, I'm sorry. And just beeline straight for Atherton via the most direct route. I need to sleep in a bed. I'm sick of sleeping on this foam pad, and we just want to get there. So the plan is, like, we want to stay in the Tablelands for a while and do some exploring up here. So we figured that we'll just get to Atherton, get ourselves cozy, get to base, or get to what's going to be our base for the next week or so, and do a couple of day rides out. So we're going to do a trip where we go out exploring the waterfalls, and then maybe another day we'll go explore the lakes. So yeah, today's priority is just to get there. It's going to be a bit of a grind. It's late in the day. We've got another 40k to do after climbing that massive hill, and it's going to be fairly hilly on the way there, so it's not going to be fun. We're going to be getting there after dark, and we're going to be extremely tired, but we've as a reward we're going to order pizza. That's the carrot on the string for us today. So yeah, let's do it. I'll probably have to turn this off at some point because it's going to get too dark soon. It's going to be time to stick the lights on the bike. We haven't done that in a while. Yeah, I guess let's do it. Let's grind this out.
Good morning. We did it. Made it to Atherton. We're now at our mate's house that's offered to put us up for like a week or so. Yeah, like last night we made it here about 6, which ain't bad. We only ended up cycling in the dark for maybe half an hour or so. Pretty good. And the environment up here, the scenery is a far cry from what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. It's just so much more open up here. There's like rolling hills, and it's completely different from the dense vegetation that we've been dealing with up till this point. It's also a lot colder. So that's a bit unpleasant right now, a bit of a shock to the system after being in the wet tropics for the last couple of weeks, but I'm thinking as the summer kicks in, it's gonna be a lot better than being down there. There's gonna be less rain, it's gonna be less unbearable in terms of heat and humidity. So yeah, I think we made the right decision coming up here. So now the plan is just to go and have a look around town. We had our pizza last night, our nice little reward. Yeah, so we're gonna go look around town. I need to pick up a new chain as I'm putting on a new cassette. And when I put on a new cassette, I really want to have a new chain with it. There's a few things of note in town. There's the crystal caves and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I guess we'll go have a look and see what it's all about.
After a swift breakfast and a visit to the local bike shop, we happened upon a section of the Atherton Tablelands rail trail that runs through the town. Halfway along this section, we found the Mountain Bike Skills Park, which also functions as a sort of second trailhead, with access to the link trail that leads out of town to the mountain bike park. The rail trail terminates at Platypus Park, in the shadow of Mount Baldy. Conveniently placed by the park is the Station Cafe, which, as the name might suggest, is housed on the site of an old train station. The dining area includes multiple old train cars, and one of them houses an amazing model railway. Finally, we made our way to the Wang Chinese temple.
In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the heyday of tin and gold mining on the Tablelands, Atherton was home to a thriving Chinese community. When new laws restricted Chinese access to the mining fields, the community pioneered their own business ventures. They built a timber mill and turned otherwise unworkable land into highly successful fruit and vegetable farms through the Chinese method of hand cultivation. They also introduced corn crops to the Tablelands. At its peak, Atherton's Chinatown was a bustling hub of specialty shops, essential services, restaurants, and gambling dens. The crowning feature of the community, however, was the Wang Temple. Built to honor Yang Longjit, a 13th century general who became a deity after protecting the last emperor of the Song dynasty, the temple was decorated in furnishings specially imported from China, and it provided a spiritual sanctuary for over 1,000 residents. By the end of World War I, Atherton's Chinese farmers had lost their land leases to returning Australian soldiers. Stripped of their livelihoods, many Chinese residents left the area for better opportunities on the coast, and the community that they had built was torn down and nearly forgotten. The Wang Temple remained, and today it is the last timber and iron Chinese temple in Australia, and the only building that remains from Atherton's Chinatown.
All right, so we've had a couple of days to look around, kind of chill for a bit, do some video editing. I even got into a little bit of single track today. And even rode out to Tolga, which is a nearby little town, had a beer there, checked out the rail trail, yeah, because there's like this big rail trail goes from here all the way to Macabre, although apparently the surface is only really decent from here to Walkerman. Anyway, yeah, Tablelands seem pretty great. Still haven't had a chance to go and explore the waterfalls and stuff yet, but that is coming. First thing I got to do though is I got to put a new cassette on my bike, because this one has, yeah, it's seen better days. Alrighty, I guess it's time for an update. Bonnie and I have now been on the Tablelands for like 3 weeks. When we first got here, we spent about a week at some friends of ours. We met them down in the Otways, and they moved up here like, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months ago. And yeah, anyway, we got in touch when we got up here, and they very kindly let us stay with them. What is that? Oh, it's the sprinklers coming on. Anyway, so through them, we met their landlord, who's asked us to do a bit of house sitting for them. So we're just outside of Atherton at the minute, and they've gone up to the Cape for a week. So it's our job to look after the chickens and the ducks and the guinea fowl and all the other creatures they have here. So right now we're actually going into summer, which means it's going to be way too hot to cycle, especially if we're going through the Northern Territory next. to the point that it would be dangerous. It's going to be hot, wet, there's going to be roads that are going to flood, and we're not going to be able to carry enough water. It's just going to be it would just be dangerous. So for the time being, the plan is to stay on the Tablelands. We're going to work for the summer and wait it out, and then hopefully in maybe 6 months' time or something, we'll be hitting the road again. But unfortunately for now, this is it for the tour. Bonnie has actually gone for a trial shift today, so she's already making good progress with that. But the thing is, Bonnie actually has legal work rights in Australia. I do not. But in 1 month, I'll be eligible for work rights. So the plan right now is to keep doing this house sitting and work on my videos. I've got some stock photos I need to upload and try and sell. Yeah, just try and catch up with stuff, you know, and then well, it's not even a month, in like 3 weeks' time, I guess I'll probably be off to work on a farm, picking avocados or bananas or whatever. Come on, chicks. Here you go. So in theory, it shouldn't be too hard to find work up here. This is a big farming area, and due to the whole COVID thing, all the backpackers that normally work the farms had to go home. So all the farms here are desperate for workers. So I guess I'm just gonna go do that for a little while. It doesn't seem like too bad an area to get stuck in. There's some great mountain bike trails here. I've been on a couple of group rides already. Went on a great big 100k ride with my friends from Victoria. And the local cycling club even lent me a mountain bike. So I've been exploring the trails a little bit. So I should still have plenty of stuff to film, plenty of things to check out. There's a lot to see around here, particularly involving bikes. There you go. See, it's all good.